Gnostics believed that there are three types of people. To truly comprehend these three spiritual types of people, one must first understand the Gnostic cosmological framework from which they emerge. The Gnostics' worldview assumes that our visible universe, the realm of matter and physical laws, is not the product of ultimate divine source, but rather of the flawed creator, deity known as Demiurge. The cosmic architect, often identified with the Old Testament God, fashioned the material world in ignorance to the true transcendent reality. Beyond this imperfect creation exists the pleroma, the fullness of divine reality, a realm of perfect light and harmony from which fragments of divine essence, sparks, have become trapped within human beings. These divine sparks constitute our true identity, though most humans remain unaware of their celestial origin, living in what Gnostics consider a state of spiritual amnesia. The purpose of existence, according to Gnostic thought, is the awakening of these divine fragments to their true nature and their eventual return to pleroma. The first type Gnostic talk about is so-called HYLIC type. The HYLIC type represents individuals whose primary focus is on material existence and physical reality. HYLICs remain firmly anchored in the tangible world. Individuals categorized as HYLICs are often described as being deeply entrenched in physical pleasures and worldly concerns. Their lives are predominantly oriented around mundane activities that prioritize sensory experiences. Like consumers in our modern world, constantly pursuing latest smartphone, fashion trends, or luxury vehicles as a contemporary embodiment of the HYLIC mindset. For them, status symbols aren't merely objects, but extensions of their identity. In essence, HYLICs are seen as individuals who derive their sense of identity and fulfillment from tangible material aspects of life. Material-focused, dualistic thinking, conformity are traits of HYLIC type of person. These types of people also engage only in relationships and pursuits that offer immediate practical benefits. They are driven primarily by habit, social programming, and biological survival instincts. They are unconcerned with religious or spiritual matters beyond their social or cultural traditions. Their identity is derived entirely from social roles and cultural programming. They perceive reality primarily through the physical senses, and no intuition is involved. They react to external stimuli without thinking. The second type of the people is the psychic type. The psychic type refers to individuals who exhibit a certain level of spiritual awareness, yet their understanding and experiences are primarily influenced by emotional and intellectual dimensions. Psychics stand at the threshold between material existence and spiritual awakening. Their quest for knowledge is often driven by an intrinsic desire to uncover truth about the universe and their place within it. This intermediary position suggests that psychics possess greater potential for personal growth compared to HYLICS due to their willingness to learn and seek out the truth. They are more open-minded and inquisitive, which allows them to explore spiritual concepts more deeply. A modern parallel might be found in the thoughtful scientist who, while methodically investigating the physical laws of the universe, remains open to the possibility that consciousness and reality may extend beyond what can be measured in laboratory. Psychics experience a persistent sense that material values and sensory pleasures are enjoyable but insufficient to fulfill the deeper yearnings of the soul. They possess genuine capacity for spiritual evolution by embracing relativism, uncertainty, and the paradoxes of existence. They genuinely seek to improve the world and themselves, believing in the inherent goodness of humanity and the possibility of progress. They intuitively sense the existence of dimensions beyond the physical, but struggle to define or access them consistently. The third type is the pneumatic type. In Gnostic belief system, the concept of pneumatics, from the Greek pneuma, which means spirits or breath, is central to understanding the spiritual hierarchy and the nature of human existence. Pneumatics perceive patterns and connections invisible to those bound to earth. Pneumatics are often viewed as individuals who possess a divine spark within them, a fragment of the true God or source that has become trapped in the material world. The inner divinity attributed to pneumatics allows them to perceive higher realities beyond mere physical existence. Pneumatics are believed to have an innate ability to connect with higher realms through introspection, meditation, and other spiritual practices that facilitate communion with the divine. They often engage in practices aimed at awakening their consciousness and aligning themselves more closely with their divine essence. Such practices may include contemplative prayer, mystical experiences, or philosophical inquiry into the nature of reality. Unlike HYLICS, who are primarily concerned with material existence, and psychics, who may possess some level of spiritual insight but still rely heavily on external sources for knowledge, pneumatics draw upon their inner experiences and insights gained through direct communion with the divine. The pneumatics might be compared to someone who has awakened from a dream and now sees the dreaming state of others with compassion and understanding. They are seen as intermediaries between the material world and higher spiritual realms, possessing both knowledge and capacity for empathy towards those still entangled in worldly concerns. So these three types of people that I just described could also represent three stages of spiritual growth.